Right, so the state is expected to call new witnesses when the Senzo Meyiwa Murder Trial continues in the High Court in Pretoria this morning. 5 men are on trial for the alleged murder of the soccer star. Meyiwa was shot and killed while at the home of Kelly Khumalo, the home of Kelly Khumalo's mother, in Vosloorus in October 2014. But for more on this story, let's bring in SABC News reporter Sipho Kekana. Sipho, a good morning to you. I think before we even get into what we're expecting to hear this morning, let's recap what we heard yesterday. I think certainly some interesting pieces of evidence that came forward yesterday, particularly around even the gun that was found at accused number 5's home in 2015. Number 3's home, apologies.
Yes, good morning, Naledi. Yes, you are right. Yesterday there were a number of things that came out during the testimony by the 2 police officers who arrested accused number 3, Mthobisi Mncube, back in 2015. You'll remember that he was arrested in 2015 for a completely different investigation, a completely different case that had nothing to do with the Senzo Meyiwa case. We heard yesterday how the police found a gun that was in his room where he was staying with his girlfriend in Cleveland. We heard about how they could not find any link between that gun and the murder of the former Orlando Pirates goalkeeper Senzo Meyiwa, who was killed at Kelly Khumalo's home in 2014. We also heard about how the police had not taken fingerprints on any of the items that were found in that room, and that is the gun itself, the magazine, and a box that they say was full of a mix of ammunition in it. So we heard about all of those. We also heard also from Sergeant Mandla Masondo saying that the accused was very cooperative. We also heard him say that even though he stayed with his girlfriend, they only arrested him because the accused had volunteered the information that the gun belonged to him. He had come to Joburg with it from his homeland in the KZN. However, during cross-examination, Advocate Charles Mnisi then said the accused had no choice but to cooperate and say the things that you wanted him to say because you were spitting venom, because you were very, very aggressive. And Masondo saying that that is not true. That is not true. The accused was just cooperative. There was nobody spitting venom there. So those were some of the things that came out of the trial yesterday in Naledi. Advocate Mnisi says that the accused, if the need arises, will take the stand and tell the court that he had nothing to do with that gun that was found in his room, apparently by the police on that evening. You will remember that, as I've already told you, there has not been any link established between that gun and the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. Naledi.
And I think another interesting part that came out of yesterday's testimony, Sipho, was of course these 2 police officers who were essentially investigating this matter really weren't investigating accused number 3 on this matter to do with Senzo Meyiwa. So let's clarify that part, that essentially he was being investigated on another matter of a taxi shooting in Alexandra, correct?
Yeah. Yes, these 2 police officers are part of the organized crime. They are attached to the organized crime unit dealing with taxi violence, and that is what they were dealing with. But this is not to preempt or make any insinuations about the linkages between that gun and the crime that took place at Kelly Khumalo's home in October 2014. It is not about making any insinuations, but the fact of the matter is that they were not mandated to investigate the Vosloorus case. They were not mandated to investigate the Vosloorus case. So we are expecting that as time goes on, perhaps the state, because the state will then bring a ballistic expert to expand on that matter, because as it is, questions remain on the relevance of the evidence that was led in court by the police yesterday as to how if there was no link between this gun and the crime that took place at Kelly Khumalo's house, then how is it relevant to the Vosloorus case? So we are expecting that those questions will then be answered as the trial continues. Naledi.
Yeah, what are we expecting to see happen today then, Sipho?
So today we are expecting a new witness, Naledi. This is going to be the 10th witness to take the stand. You'll remember that since this repeated trial, we have been moving at quite a very fast pace, and today we are expecting the 10th witness to take the stand. We are expecting evidence on the crime scene to be led in court today. You will remember that previously there's been a lot said about the crime scene. Firstly, about the people who first arrived on the scene, people who are accused of having perhaps tampered with the scene. You will recall that there is a statement that was made by some of those people who were first on that scene, who said that they saw a neighbor by the name of Maggie Phiri coming into that house and picking up the beer cans and cleaning the place up, because according to her, they said in those statements, she did not want the police to realize that the people that were sitting in that house before the shooting happened had been drinking alcohol. So there's been a lot said around the scene. There's also a part, the second part is on the police who first arrived on the scene. You'll recall that previously, before the matter was now handed to Judge Ratamokwatleng, previously we heard about how the police that attended the scene also could have tampered with the scene, and there's been accusations of planting some of the evidence on the scene. So today we are expecting that the state is going to now again be shining the light on the crime scene itself, and all those questions about whether there was any sort of scene tampering are expected to be the focus of today and the next couple of days, I would assume. Naledi.
Yeah, well,